I don't know what it is. Every time, just like literally, it's like 5 minutes before the phone rings. All of a sudden, it's like, I gotta poop.
Every story starts the same way. I'll just do a little bit till Sunday. And now I don't even know who I am. Not that I ever
Monday?
really cared.
What the hell day is it? Yeah,
It is
Monday.
Yeah.
Happy Monday. It's January the 20th already, 2020. Hey, it's 2020. January the 20th, 2020, and I'm Eric, talking at you from Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada, where there's two things I don't like about being in a small town in the winter. One, it's a small town. Two, it's winter. That's it. That's all you get.
Pretty much nailed it, though.
That's the only problem I have with small town in the winter. I don't like small towns or winter. This experiment in relaxing outside of Vancouver is failing miserably. I'm not relaxing at all. I'm actually going kind of The Shining on everybody. This could have been a horrible mistake. So it's a good thing I'm returning this week. And then maybe I'll remember why I hate Vancouver, and I'll be really eager to come back.
See, this is why. Well, the grass is always greener on the other side. This is why that's so true. But I don't know. I actually had something really witty to say, and I completely just lost my train of thought. So fuck it. That one.
I think this thing just turned out really not the way I expected. Like I've got like all my friends. Obviously, it's right after Christmas. Everyone's got bills. Everybody's busy.
Yeah.
So I came up here expecting 0 degrees and whatever. I'll hang out with some buddies. It'll be fine. I get up here. It's minus 20, and none of my friends can do anything because they're all busy and they got shitty kids. And I was like, well, this is just not this is not the homecoming I expected here.
This is a bag of bullshit.
And then, of course, I'm with my mother, and I love my mother, and she loves me, and that's good enough. We don't need to be together to know that. Yeah, she does like little mom things. Sleep until 8 a.m. and she's like, "Oh, nice of you to wake up today." It's 8. Well, I was gonna drive you into town, but half the day is gone. It's still dark out. What the fuck?
Come on. Oh,
And
that's
then-
just fun.
I mean, up till midnight. She can't hear her. She's deaf, so that's not like the noise is bugging her. But she's like, "Oh, well, do you normally stay up all night?" I was up till midnight. I just saw your light was on all night. You mean 12 o'clock?
Well, technically, that is all night because after 12 o'clock, it becomes morning.
Yeah, well, technically, I spent 2 years of my life literally not sleeping ever. Then I went to 2 months of heavily drug-induced sleep. So as soon as I got here, I was just like, ping! I can't sleep. I wonder
Back
why.
not sleeping again.
For the last 2 months, I got as many pills as I wanted to help me sleep. Now I get nothing. But there you go. That's a little look into my life. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Numbers are not where I would like. I'm starting to wonder if our show titles have something to do with the number of listeners. Because it makes no sense, the ones that get a lot of listens as opposed to the ones that don't.
Yeah.
But the last couple have been I don't know. Maybe people are busy or something.
Okay, well, we're going to try a theory. Name this one. This is the episode that everybody's listening to.
Yeah, something like that. I didn't post a day in the last one, so I don't know. Maybe we'll see what happens. I've been slacking off because I've been in a bad mood, so we'll get everything together. I've also got a podcast coach lined up. I've got a meeting with a podcast coach.
Interesting.
Coach me into podcasting. And we'll get these episodes up because tomorrow night, Gordon and I have our interview with the other one. I don't have my notes in front of me. CQP moment.
CQP.
Saving money, great deals, DIY, and pop culture. I can't wait. That's what I'm all about. Those are my 4 things: saving money, great deals, pop culture, DIY. I'm all about DIY.
Sure. I mean, technically, you are. Literally, you're the definition of it.
I guess so, but I really don't subscribe to it. I'm very much let someone else do it. I just don't have the means to employ other people to do things. If I did, I would do very little on my own.
Yeah.
Someone else would be holding this microphone right now.
Pardon me.
This microphone. Why is that beer not pouring in my mouth?
Who do I gotta pay to get this beer put in my mouth?
You've got 2 hands. Get to work. That's the other thing. I have had like 6 beers since I've been up here. That is a ridiculous amount of alcohol for me to consume in a week and a half. I gotta tone that right back down.
Hey, you have something we're gonna have to take a look at. I have a listing here of the most and least educated states in America. And I also have a listing of the laziest and most active states in America.
I didn't realize that could be 2 different lists.
That is 2 different lists. Now, ironically, it technically almost isn't. Because there's a giant commonality between the 2 lists, which is very, very humorous to me.
Well, I'm sure. Do you want to start with that? Let's start with that.
Yeah, let's start with that. Okay, well, let's start. Okay, so most educated states in America. Would you like to take a guess who you think might be in the top 5? I got the top 10 here.
New York, California.
Nope.
Massachusetts.
Number 1. Most educated is Massachusetts.
Yeah. Washington State.
No. Well, yes, top 7.
Massachusetts, Washington State. Gonna say Illinois?
No.
Um,
So let me give you the rundown. So I'm not going to just rhyme off all the states. So yeah, Massachusetts hitting at number 1. So well
that
done.
makes sense. That's where all the Ivy League schools are. Harvard.
Right. Harvard is, yeah. Maryland, number 2.
Yeah. that makes sense.
Colorado, number 3.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Colorado.
Ironic that the highest marijuana producing state is also the highest education. That's kind of funny.
I've always said on this show, stoners aren't dummies.
That's right. Vermont, number 4. Connecticut, number 5.
Oh, okay.
Virginia, number 6.
Oh, yeah.
Washington, number 7. Virginia makes sense. New Hampshire, number 8.
Oh, okay.
Now, number 9. KC, buddy, hope you're listening. New Jersey, number 9.
Makes sense, fish.
I guess. And for me, this is the kind of the shocker. Keep in mind, I don't know the U.S. very well, but nonetheless, Minnesota, number 10.
I have no idea what's in Minnesota.
I just know that Minnesota is where Jesse the Body Ventura was the mayor of.
Governor.
Governor. There you go.
Now, in my defense, I always forget that Connecticut exists. I always forget that's a
Alone on
thing.
that.
So there's no way I would have gotten that because I forget that it is a thing. I had no idea where Hartford was back when the Whalers were a thing. Connecticut's just not a place that exists in my mind. Some of those are surprising, but I don't know. Colorado, that makes perfect sense. I should have thought of that. And all the rest, I don't care.
Now, least educated. If you don't get at least 6 of these, I'll be surprised.
Well, Florida's got to be there.
No.
Um,
Somewhere in the middle.
New Mexico.
Yes, number 42 out of 50.
Oh. What's the number one least educated? It's got to be. Ooh, wait. What about Alaska? Is that on there?
No. They're somewhere in the middle as well.
Hawaii?
I was a little surprised about that one. And no, Hawaii's nowhere on the list either. They're in the middle.
Huh. I don't know what are some I assume Texas is educated.
Yes, Texas is educated. All right. So, 40.
Where's Albuquerque? Oh, that's New Mexico.
Albuquerque, New Mexico, yeah.
That's just stupid words. But it's like 1,000 points in Scrabble.
It's true.
I have no idea. I can't even think of states right now. There's probably a Dakota on there, one of them, if not two.
No, neither of the Dakotas hit.
I give up.
All right, so here's what you got. You got 41 Tennessee, 42 New Mexico, 43 Nevada, 44 South Carolina. These next ones are all the ones that I as soon as I saw the thing, I'm thinking, I bet you these 5 are there. You got Kentucky at 45, 46 is Alabama, 47 is Arkansas, 48 is Louisiana, 49 is West Virginia, number 50, the least educated state out of all the U.S. states, Mississippi.
Okay.
Now, in contrast, here's where this gets funny to me.
See, it baffles me that Virginia is one of the educated ones when you think about what went on there today.
Yeah.
And the debate they were having over the harsh gun laws that they're trying to bring in. One of which was you could only buy 1 per month from now on.
And also one of them was police can just, what was it? Something about they can remove firearms without any due process.
Yeah, if they think you're dangerous.
Yeah.
They can take your gun away if they think you might shoot somebody. What? Hell no, not in my state.
No, here's what's funny about that.
I'm one of the most educated states in the union. I know this is wrong.
Here's what's really funny. I specifically went to a very pro-liberal and to the very other side. I went to Fox News and I went to was it fucking ABC? And ABC listed it as saying exactly what you just said. If you are deemed deemed as being like a dangerous or have any bit of a threat, then the cops can confiscate your gun without due process. Fox News literally puts it as the cops can take your gun without any provocation. Wow. Like the same fucking law, yet no commonality between the verbiage between the two.
Well, then the third thing was events or venues can choose whether or not you're allowed to bring your gun in.
Yeah.
That's what if the fucking Irish Rovers concert doesn't want guns there or whatever outdated old band in Virginia might. No, you can't bring guns to this show. Then you can't bring your guns to that show. The like country gold Dolly Parton impersonator, whoever's playing there.
Not allowed to bring your gun. Because we all know guns and contras always works out so well.
Yeah. So that's what they're protesting. This one of the most intelligent states. Wow.
Now, also on the same factor, when they talked about that protest, the liberal media promoted this thing, talking about how, the city's got to be ready for massive amounts of violence, and people are going to be getting killed, and they went on and on and on about saying how horrible this was going to be and how it shouldn't even happen.
Yeah, this was supposed to be. QAnon had said this was going to be a massacre. This was their way of drawing out gun owners and slaughtering them.
Yeah. Meanwhile, nothing happened.
No.
Not one arrest.
And I haven't had a chance to look at what QAnon says, because this was supposed to be monumental in the events leading up to Trump taking over the world and exposing the evil deep state. This was supposed to be one of the big newsmakers, and virtually nothing happened. So I'm wondering what they're saying now about why nothing happened. Or
They're
what
they probably
how they prevented it secretly.
Yeah, exactly.
See how we prevented the violence from happening? We work in the shadows. Fuck off. Didn't show up and nothing happened. I wonder what these people are gonna do when the whole theory doesn't pan out.
Yeah.
When Trump does get impeached. Or if he doesn't, if he just fades away in 4 years and is nothing, I wonder what the excuse will be. I don't know. So what was the laziness?
So laziest.
Who are the laziest?
Okay, so the 7 laziest states. Now, hang on. Let's just pop back over here. So top 9 for the least educated. Oops. Hang on, for some reason my screen just slipped on the top. So at least educated, keep in mind, you had Tennessee, New Mexico, Nevada, South Carolina, Kentucky, Alabama, Arkansas, Louisiana, West Virginia, Mississippi. The least active in all the states, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, and Kentucky.
Yeah, makes sense.
Right.
I would like to maybe tomorrow, if I have time, I would like to do the comparison and see where we're at with Canada.
Yes, that would be interesting to know.
Although in Canada, I'd say straight across the board, we're all pretty much the same education-wise.
Yeah.
And laziness, you can't really be lazy, because in BC, you have to be active or you look like an idiot. And everywhere else, you actually have to work for a living. So,
I can tell you this: in Ontario, there's not as many. Like in BC, everybody's out for walks.
Yeah, well, that's right. You have to be active.
Yeah. In Ontario, not as much.
No.
But we also have bigger winters here, so it's not as active then either. So it's a little, a little bit different for weather-wise, but
I don't know. I don't think you could actually do that list. It would be very disappointing in Canada. There's not that, and there's not that divide. Like when you talk about uneducated in Mississippi, like that's not like uneducated here, which is the guy who just doesn't watch the news and maybe didn't finish high school because he's got a good job and just dropped out so he could work more or something. Like an uneducated Canadian still knows how to read.
Yeah, exactly.
An uneducated guy in Mississippi hasn't figured out shoes. Like
he's got empty Kleenex boxes stuffed with paper towel.
Yeah, pretty much. And they keep melting in the rain, and it freaks him out. The rain is acid. Keeps melting my shoes.
Global warming.
It's global warming. It's so hot out, my shoes melted. No, they're made of paper, and you're standing in a puddle. You shut up, devil.
Right. That's exactly it. Most active areas in the nation. You've got, again, I'm going to recap
Tornado
the
Alley,
smartest.
I'm sure.
You're right.
They're-
I think being thrown by wind and actually running on your own, I think that's two different things.
rebuilding your house twice a year. That's got to be keep you in shape.
No doubt. To re-hit, well, it's not nearly as comparative, but to re-hit the list. So again, the most educated states, you got Massachusetts, Maryland, Colorado, Vermont, Connecticut, Virginia, Washington, New Hampshire, New Jersey, and Minnesota. And out of your most active, you've got Colorado, Washington, Utah, Oregon, and District of Columbia.
District of Columbia, I find that shocking.
Yeah, that's the one that got me too.
Colorado, best skiing in the world. That makes sense. They're
Yeah.
pretty active there.
And Oregon makes sense because Oregon is pretty much just another extension of BC, so that just makes sense.
Yeah. Well, District of Columbia, that's, I don't know. Politicians, I guess, run a lot. I don't know.
I don't know. Well,
That's cool.
That is, yeah, so there you go. So there's a little interesting thing.
That is
Now-
interesting.
Oops. Hang on.
I
Now,
don't know how it's
I
going to
have
help me
dinner.
take over the U.S. when I plan to, but we'll see.
We'll definitely figure a way. That's for sure. I want to brush over this one kind of quickly just because it kind of infuriates me and I don't want to dwell on it. So I just want to mention it and then move on. There's a 19-year-old guy who is suspected of killing 2 people and injuring 5 others in San Antonio. Apparently, he was at a club, and he pulled out a gun and fucking shot a bunch of people. Now, when the cops arrested him, this is insane. When the cops arrested him, they walked him out in handcuffs and in front of news cameras. And the guy literally spits out his Instagram handle and says, "That's me. I'm an up-and-coming artist."
That's cool. That's the way of the world now.
He promotes this thing. I mean, it's just insane.
You'll probably get a reality show out of it.
Oh, I'll guarantee it.
That's just how America is. And that's just goes to show what that country's become. And like, I don't. A guy
No.
shot up some people in a nightclub. That's not even news anymore.
Now, trust me, I got to finish reading this because it's the last line that always gets me and everything. He said that he was acting in self-defense. Quote, "He told me he was gonna kill me. He told me because I bumped into him, he was gonna kill me." So now it's unclear which of the victims that he was referring to, but nonetheless, that's what he said. He said that he claims that he was targeted and someone pulled out a gun on him, but didn't get the chance to shoot because he got his out faster.
That's probably true.
Yeah. No, here's the best. This is literally how the article ends. Quote, "On the cool, I regret everything that I did." William said, "On the cool." On the cool. Oh.
Which one of the smart states is he from?
Oh.
It's just what this fucking country is. It's just that's just how America is in my mind, and I can't get emotional. I can't even care.
No.
It's
And
just,
I don't want to care because it's just fucking funny to me.
that's it. Just a bunch of retards shooting each other and then fighting stronger gun laws because they keep shooting each other. What do you mean I
Just
might
love
not
that.
be able to shoot somebody today? Like, fuck it, just let them. Just legalize everything and let them go nuts.
Listen, let the purge happen.
Let them just start killing each other. Who gives a shit? I can't even care when, and like, they've got no government right now. The government's so focused on this goddamn joke of a trial that doesn't need to be happening, really. Their only defense is that his super crimes aren't impeachable. Not that he didn't commit the crimes.
It's just not impeachable.
That doesn't come into their defense whatsoever. They're like, oh yeah, he fucking did that shit.
Personally, that's my favorite thing about the whole thing.
Yeah, that's not even a question. Yeah, he did that shit. Everybody, like, who thinks he didn't do that shit? And all his own witnesses put up that, yeah, he did that shit.
Well, keep in mind, even Trump himself said, "Yeah, I did it."
Everybody, but everybody that was supposed to say no, like, do you think the president did this? Oh, fuck yeah, I did this. I have proof. Everyone has stacks of proof. Everyone that's on his side showed up with stacks of proof that he did this shit. But out of the massive numbers of misdemeanors he's committed, they're not impeachable.
That's amazing.
If he wasn't the president, he'd be fucked, but not impeachable. Like, come on. No wonder you're rallying. The worst gun law you could come up with is you're only allowed to buy one per month? How many do you fucking idiots need?
And that's who's buying more than one gun a month? Like, really?
Like, I don't even get that. I can't shoot it with that gun. I've had that since October. Gee, I'm not an animal.
It's a Tuesday. What the fuck am I doing with a Smith & Wesson?
I don't get it.
It's Colt Tuesday. Everybody knows that. Jesus.
It's already February. I only got one gun. There's a bad year. What? Get him like a commemorative gun set. Like, here we give out those coins every year. The post office comes out with a new set of coins you can buy.
You know the like wine of the month. You get the gun of the month club.
It's gun of the month and comes straight to your door.
Fully loaded. Open it up. Shoot your wife. It's fantastic.
Fucking ridiculous. How you can only really kill with one gun at a time. Like, how many do you need? You could, and this is where I want to go next month.
Yeah, I know.
This country. I'm going.
You know, one thing I will say is when I was in Portland, first, like literally that afternoon, we show up, get to my friend's place. We're hanging around in the backyard, just sort of shooting the shit, smoked some weed, relaxing, having a couple smokes and some beers. And as we're talking, we could hear this. We heard some like sort of like it sounded like backfiring from a car, and one of the guys like, I think that's a gunshot. I'm like, it's like really, I've literally been here for an hour and I'm already hearing gunshots. Like, come on, like there's no way. There's no way. It's not that bad here. Sure enough, we go into the house a couple hours later, and 5 blocks away there is a shooting at a mall. 5 people killed.
Yeah,
and we heard it. Technically, could have gotten hit by a stray bullet.
Portland's one of the better. Like when Trump got elected, there were grown men crying on the news. They're definitely one of the better areas.
Yeah. So I thought that shit was really funny.
The whole country's just fucked, and that's not even that trial's not even really underway yet. They're still arguing about the rules of the trial.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't get that. Like, they all have to agree on like the rules of how this trial is going to go down. And it doesn't even really, it's not even going to kick off until about Friday. And then there's
not have to be rules. Like, you think that shit was already predetermined,
right?
Like,
well, it's only
law.
It's only the 3rd time in history they've ever had to do it. And like the last one, it was like 1898, and then it was like 100 years before they had to do it again.
Yeah. Then you had Clinton,
and
which didn't work.
It's just amazing that I guess they just never. They thought, okay, like what we're gonna have to do this maybe once ever.
Yeah.
So we'll work out the rules when the time comes. It's probably never gonna happen. Everybody's going to be so busy buying guns, they're not even going to pay attention.
Exactly.
The other big thing that kicked off today, obviously, was Wang Manzu's or Zoom Wang Changmeng Huawei lady's trial. Her extradition hearing finally kicked off. She, in typical fashion, was just dressed to the nines and showing off her little ankle bracelet. The hard time she's had to do in her Vancouver mansion. But this is another one that's just become a joke because it's really another non-issue. It's like that the U.S. wants us to punish her for things that aren't crimes in Canada. We can't. We don't. She may or may not have violated the sanctions that the Americans have on Iran. We actively did not support those sanctions, and we don't honor those sanctions in Canada. Therefore, in Canada, she's done nothing wrong. So we get to argue that and say, no, we're not going to punish this lady for something that's not a crime. And then we get to go back to court in June and sue, where she is suing the CBSA for never actually arresting her for anything.
Yeah.
Or detaining her without arresting her. So it's just this is just massive waste of court's time.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, the two guys rotting in China get no mention whatsoever.
Still no word whatsoever.
No, this poor lady's being held in her $15 million mansion. They're literally like in a box in the ground somewhere in China with the coronavirus. They're probably injecting it into those two to see how bad it is.
I'm just quickly reading about it, and one of the things, like, literally, here's the description. Ming, 47, arrived in the Vancouver courtroom wearing a dark top with polka dots.
Yeah.
Why is a woman's fashion always mentioned? Oh, it's so fucked up. Oh.
These two guys rotting in a box. The only bright polka dots are on their skin from the viruses they're contracting. They're getting no news whatsoever. Like, could someone at least give us some hope that they're even alive? You think? And why doesn't she say something? She must know. I'm sure someone in the last, however fucking long this has been, 2 years or whatever, has said to her, "Hey, after we pinched you, they pinched 2 Canadians, but they say it's not related."
Yeah.
I don't know.
It just happened to be within the same week, whatever.
Maybe she doesn't care. Maybe she's like, fuck those guys.
I bet you she is like, fuck those guys.
I have no as much as I want her to win this thing, I have absolutely no indication that she's a good person. Like, she's a very high-ranking Chinese CFO in a company that's known to be a pretty shady fucking company. And she was undeniably doing business in Iran.
Uh-huh.
Not exactly the greatest bunch of people. So she's probably not a good person. We're pretty convinced China's the devil. And Iran's like a mini devil. And she was doing business to make sure the two work together. She's probably evil. She's probably the super most evil woman.
It's funny that you say, because you mentioned with Iran. It's like, literally, here's one of the things. Quote, who is this? This is a federal policy expert and lawyer, not involved with the case.
Of course.
But he might be, I don't know, some guy who knows a lot about shit. But he says that since this being a case, he goes, I think the defense has a slam dunk. There are no Iranian sanctions in Canada, and anything the prosecutors bring up that's related to an Iranian sanction in Canada may well be dismissed.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious in the sense, because you're talking about, so here we can prove that there's something shitty happened, but we can't talk about it.
Sure. And that's fine. It's not our problem. That's what I've been saying from day one. I don't care. It's not our problem. And I do love the fact that there is absolutely no evidence that Huawei has been spying on anyone in the world ever. But there's direct evidence that the U.S. was spying on her through her iPhone. Huawei is bad, and they put spy cameras in all their phones. Yeah, but the only one we can prove is the one you did in your American-made iPhone. You shut up, devil.
You shut up, devil. You don't know nothing. I'm from Alabama. In the same article, it literally says, so like literally that paragraph I just read was related to the Iranian sanction. Canada may well be dismissed. Soon after Meng's arrest, China detained 2 Canadians, former Canadian diplomat Michael Kavorig and businessman Michael Spaver. China has denied their arrest were related to Meng's case. Quote, the clear priority for everyone in our government is the release and well-being of Michael and Michael. That is at the heart of all the work we are doing, and rightfully so, said our Deputy Prime Minister, Freeland, whoever the fuck his name is, something Freeland.
Christian.
Yeah, so you've done nothing.
Yeah. No.
It's not the heart of anything. It's not the heart of all the work. If this is what the heart of all your work is doing, you should not be doing this work.
And they both stood up and said, look, it's not up to us. It's up to the beard.
Yeah, exactly.
What the beard says goes. If the beard tells Justin that it's time to get these guys, we will get these guys. But we can't do anything until the beard makes a decision. I just picture everyone in Canada. They're like the little green things in Toy Story now. Everyone just the beard.
Right, exactly. The beard said so.
Pisses me right off. Here's something on. Okay, these 2 trials are stupid, and what an amazing distraction tactic for everybody. It's a perfect time for this to be happening. Something I heard that's actually quite fascinating is this whole Harry and Meghan thing.
I want to shoot myself. You said that.
I got the insider scoop on why it's happening.
Okay, interesting.
There was obviously quite a bit of fallout over Prince Andrew and the Epstein thing.
Yes.
So the Queen had a secret meeting with Prince Andrew and said, okay, you're out. You're done. Go away. Yeah. The family wants nothing to do with you. Go away.
Yeah.
Andrew came back with, oh, cool. Then I can say whatever I want to the media about Harry and Meghan and all the shit that's gone on with them. Because I'm not part of the family anymore, right? So I can go to the media and just say whatever I want about anything. So the Queen was like, okay, wait a minute, because I guess he's got all this dirt on how Meghan's been unhappy and never wanted to be there and all this shit. So the Queen called in all of them and just said, okay, we can't have blackmail shit hanging out, so all 3 of you piss off.
So it's the Queen that's actually kicked them out.
Yeah. She was just like, okay, Andrew says he's got shit about you, and I don't even want to deal with that. We got to deal with the Epstein. All of you go away. The royal family is not having anything to do with any of this. You can all just go on your merry way. So
wow.
It wasn't their choice. They're not happy about it, and they're just going to go. Now, obviously, they're going to get like a reality show out of it, or whatever they want.
Yeah.
But
no, I know that the biggest news today right now is that they're not going to be using their Royal Highness or whatever moniker.
Yeah. No.
That's gone.
But it's not the triumphant, oh, we want to make our own way. It's like, no, the Queen told you to pound sand because you're causing shit.
See, as soon as you brought that up, I thought you were going to say that that they left strictly because of the shame that Andrew brought over onto the family. He's like, fuck this. I don't want to be anything part of this fucking family. If this guy's fucking kids, I'm out. That's it. I'm done. That's what I thought. That's what I was hoping you were going to say. But
no, it was just Andrew said they tried to boot him out. He's like, all right, I know that you're a bitch and you're a pussy whip chump now. I'm going to go talk shit about you all the time because grandma's kicking me out.
Wow.
I guess it's not grandma. It's like his sister or something, whatever.
Either way.
But
If it was his way, he'd probably wishes his wife too. But yeah,
she's 132 years old. She's everybody's grandma.
yeah, it's true. Oh
She's-
wow!
She's been the queen now for over 150 years.
Jesus, and she looks every fucking second of it too.
She doesn't look bad for 152 years old.
Doesn't look a day over 130.
Not even close.
Now,
Yeah, it's just you gotta imagine like she's constantly dealing with this shit. Her whole life is just imagine what goes on that doesn't make it into the news.
oh my God.
You know, how many Epstein type cases do we not hear about that someone like her has to deal with? And so like, even just the heads of companies or the Hollywood studios, or
Yep.
you know, how many Weinsteins aren't in the news today that these companies deal with all the time? And you get no wonder. I can't imagine she must drink just a tremendous amount every day.
She probably like, and I bet you the whole thing is I bet you she's one of those people that like kills children for their essence and youth.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But just you think we've heard about like the worst of the worst. Every once in a while, they throw one in the news, and then it distracts us from the other 100 that are going on.
Yep.
And so we get an Epstein and we get a Weinstein, and just coincidentally, 2 Jews. Just saying. Oh, what a shock! We're still doing that.
Right.
But there's got to be 99 more that we didn't hear about last year.
Mhm.
You know, for every Kevin Spacey that gets thrown under the bus, there's 10 that don't make the news because they're not as interesting or whatever. And these people that have to deal with this on a regular basis, like, you know, there's people in Weinstein's circle that knew what was going on.
Oh, absolutely.
And you got to imagine there's a handful of people that just went every week. We're like, come on, Harvey, not again.
Right.
What are you doing? You're worth all the money in the world and you're old and gross. You gotta quit banging 20-year-olds.
No. I got more money than God. It's fine.
And same with like I don't know, the Epsteins and their planes full of perverts. Like, tone it down. You don't get to live like the Rat Pack when you're buggering little kids. Like, just shut up and keep it to yourself. Stop bringing attention to it. Like, in no time is this going to be cool. You're not going to look like Sinatra when you're
Right.
little kids. So, like, I don't know. They like all came out with it kind of like, all right, look, we got this. It's not going to become a tourist attraction. Oh, what? These guys have an island full of little kids they fuck? Let's make this okay.
Do they have rides? Well, kinda.
I don't get it. I don't get the world. I don't get how that's like what we cover up. And then our big stories are Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina.
Yeah, well, I do have an international story for you that I find pretty interesting, and I would love to hear your take on that.
They're all interesting.
That can be true, but not always. Berlin, a Munich
Not
court
interesting.
on Monday
Sorry.
convicted a German man of more than a dozen offenses of attempted murder for tricking women and girls into giving themselves electric shocks while he watched over the internet.
Now, I'm sorry. If you tricked over a dozen women into giving themselves electric shocks, that's a funny TV show in my mind.
No, I am 100% behind you on this because I'm still trying to figure, because apparently what he did was he's a 31-year-old guy who he contacted the women and girls as young as 13 online over a 5-year period, claiming to be a doctor seeking paid volunteers for a medical experiment in pain perception. He then persuaded them to attach a homemade contraption to the electricity mains and their extremities while he watched and issued instructions. None of the victims were ever paid.
Well, were you really waiting for the money after you figured that out? Like, is that the part you're upset about when you didn't die? Well, you didn't even pay me.
Well, I can guarantee you that he didn't pay me thing. That's the reason this went to where it went. That's what it all started with. It was like, well, it's a fraud thing because we signed up to do this and then he didn't pay me. It's a breach of contract. But then they turned around. They said, "Well, he made you do what?" So the judges concluded that 13 of the 88 cases constituted attempted murder because the defendant told the women to hold the cables to their temples or feet, causing electricity to flow through their brains or hearts. They also convicted him of 2 counts of serious bodily harm and 5 counts of premeditated bodily harm. Hang on. You've got 88 cases. How do you only have 5 counts of bodily harm?
Oh, maybe
the whole thing is premeditated.
Maybe 83 of them clued in halfway through and
Maybe.
went, "No, this is gonna suck."
Oh. Now, here's the thing. Again, so much of this doesn't. I mean, none of it makes sense. But here's some of the stuff really doesn't. So, so 2 counts of serious bodily harm, 5 counts of premeditated bodily harm, of breaching the victim's privacy by filming them, and of illegally claiming to have a medical degree. So he lied about having a medical degree. I know in North America that takes a pretty serious charge.
I do it all the time.
Just totally top, please. Premeditated bodily harm. You'd think the fact it's a premeditated, that's got to have a pretty hefty jail sentence next to that one, because it's premeditated. Anything premeditated always goes with a much stiffer fine than non-premeditated.
Yeah, but it was consensual.
Under false. Again, people thought it was just for a medical experiment, but it wasn't, because an expert witness told the court that the guy had carried out his crimes for sexual and sadistic gratification.
But it was they still did it to themselves.
Yeah. I think this is why the sentence is relatively low. The prosecutors have sought a 14-year prison sentence for him. His lawyers had asked the court to give him no more than 2 years on probation. It's pretty drastic.
I don't get you did it to yourselves. I'm sorry. The guy tricked you into electrocuting yourself. I think this is the makes for a funny TV show. I think this should be called like Eric and Gord Get You to Fry Yourself. And we do a thing where we call people and see if we can get them to fucking stick a fork in a light socket. That's a funny fucking idea.
It's really funny.
Yeah, it's sexual gratification and everything, and it gets creepy, but all in all, if we can call 88 people and convince them to stick their finger in a wall socket, that's funny shit.
I giggle oh my God, I'd watch that show every day.
And if I got to call myself Dr. Eric to make it fun, I'm in. No problem. Where'd you go? Champion Tree University.
Oh, by the way, he got 11 years. They gave him 11 years in jail.
Oh, man. I think we should just make him a producer on Eric and Gord's shocking show. The Eric and Gord's, you're going to be shocked when you see this. Hey, we'll give you $100 if you take this tinfoil and make a hat out of it and then go lick that wall socket. Okay, let's see if they really do it. Get like Bob Saget to co-host. I don't know. It'd be funny. I don't see I'm sorry. I have no sympathy. If someone on the internet tells you to wrap wires around yourself and stick them to your temples, don't do that. Especially, oh yeah, if you don't die, I'll pay you. If that's the terms of the agreement, if you don't die, I'll pay you.
Yeah.
Say no. I am not comfortable with those terms. Okay, well, I'll pay you anyway. Just do it. No. Show me the money. And even that doesn't work. If he shows you the money and then you do it and then you die, he still keeps the money.
Yeah,
When-
exactly.
If anyone on the internet ever tells you to do anything except email your favorite podcast, probably don't do it.
But definitely email your favorite podcast, Eric and Gord.
Well,
Just saying.
again, it comes down to listen to Eric and Gord. And listeners of Eric and Gord, please tell your friends and relatives that don't listen to Eric and Gord to start listening to Eric and Gord so that we can protect them and you from guys like this.
Hey,
Send us an email first. Go, hey guys, there's this German dude who wants me to wrap myself in wires and stick them to my temples and plug them into the wall, and he's going to watch. It's for like a medical experiment. What do you guys think? And we'll give you an honest answer. Based on like a photograph you send us, if we like you or not. Yeah, no, that's a bad idea. Don't do that. I'm kidding. Tell everybody it's a bad idea. Most of you.
See, this is why I love stupid people. They're just
Contact Eric and Gord. Please don't,
there for my amusement.
before anybody sticks anything in anywhere, contact Eric and Gord. Because I want the best for you guys. That is just damn funny. I just got a message from the podcast tomorrow saying, "Are we still on for 3 p.m. Pacific time?"
So that's 6 o'clock my time.
It is indeed.
Yeah, then yeah, I'm in.
I will say, yeah.
Yeah,
I will
I'm in.
respond to that. We are in. That's going to be another podcast, so we won't be doing this one tomorrow night, but that doesn't mean anything to you guys because I'm going to post 3 episodes anyway.
Yep.
So it will be like we're here the whole time, but we're not. We're going to be blowing away new fans on a brand new podcast, and then again on Wednesday, I'm on another podcast. Right after me and Gord interviewed Dr. Fucking. Finally.
Dr. Fucking.
And even she won't convince me to wrap myself in wires and stick them in light sockets.
Which I would like to know, is there a way to electrocute yourself during sex that can make it more stimulating? Be interesting to know.
Oh, I'm sure there is, but it's just like the guys that hang themselves from when they're jerking off. Like, yeah, I'm sure it's great, but then you die. Like, I don't care how good whacking off can get. If I'm gonna die afterwards, it's not a good trade-off. Like,
But it's supposed to be all about, what do they say? It's all about balance.
And-
Literally, if you lose your balance, you die. So
who are these guys who are like jerking off and like, nah, this sucks. There's got to be a way to make this better. Like, what the fuck is wrong with jerking off? Why does that need to be better? It's just fine the way it is.
you know what? I will tell you how that happens, Eric, because I actually know the answer to that question.
I don't want to be you just imagine the first guy like, wait a minute. There's got to be something to make this better. I'm going to try a rope around my neck and hang myself. How is that the next logical? No, try better lube or something first, you fucking weirdo.
A silk fucking shirt. Jerk off into that. I don't know. Try fucking a pillow.
Belt around the neck is the first thing that comes to mind. Never.
Oh, it's so funny.
Combine the two. Get a silk pillowcase. Boom.
There you go. Done. I am actually going to the store tomorrow.
Silk pillowcase. A nice. Get some silk sheets. And that little crack between your mattress and box spring. Anything before belt around the neck. Experiment a little.
Oh, Jesus.
Whatever. Punchy.
I'm not even sure if you want to talk about this one. Okay, fuck it. I'll glance it over because there's not a huge amount of information about this because of the age of the accused.
That's good because I want to cut her short tonight anyway.
But I still have some very big news we have to hit. So
Yes, let's we'll do your little whatever you got, and then
No.
Then we'll go to the...
Okay, you know what? Okay, hang on. Fuck this. Some kid killed 4 members of his family in Utah.
No,
There it
big
is.
deal. From now on, if it's someone killed someone in America, I don't give a shit.
Don't care. Okay, done.
That's just
Unless if it's like humorous, like it was on the set of a rap video. That was just funny.
yeah. If it's Harris County, that's a different story. I want to hear. I want to know all about Harris County. Still trying to get those cool cats on our show.
Berlin. German prosecutors are seeking lengthy prison terms for 4 men accused of staging a brazen theft of a 100 kilogram, that's a 221-pound Canadian loonie that disappeared from a Berlin museum almost 3 years ago.
Why was that even in a Berlin museum?
It's called the Big Maple Leaf coin. It's worth about, what they're saying, it's worth about 3.75 million euros or $4.33 million. It was a gift that Canada had given them and said, here. No, for the record, though, the coin has still not been recovered.
Well,
how do you fence that? It's a 221-pound coin. It's not like you can just walk into a bank with a 221-pound loonie and nobody's going to ask a question.
sure you can. Hey, does anybody have?
Anybody got change?
Can you break this down for me?
Jeff,
700 million quarters?
3 of the accused, a 24-year-old, a 20-year-old, and a 22-year-old, all have links to organized crime. The 4th suspect, he's 20 years old, worked as a security guard at the museum. So there's your inside job.
Yeah, that's got to be like. Of course, it's organized. You know, I've seen very many disorganized guys steal a giant fucking loonie.
A giant Canadian coin that disappeared from the museum almost 3 years ago was when it happened.
That's awesome. You know, if you tried to get that, if they can smuggle it into the States, it'll only be about half that size.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's actually it's a $1 million coin that's worth $4.3 million. I don't understand this. Like, how do you have $1 million coin that's worth $4 million? Like, it's weird.
I don't know.
So there's that. I just thought that was funny. Now, here's the big news. I am actually breaking this news.
Getting on
For
the
the
court's
record,
breaking news.
I actually have some breaking news. It's officially 2 hours now. It's officially 2 hours old news. It just broke. So the Vatican, Pope Francis had put Brooklyn Bishop Nicholas DiMarzio. Pope Francis had named him to investigate the church's response to clergy sexual abuse in Buffalo. The Vatican has officially ordered an investigation of sexual abuse against him, which means the guy that Pope put in charge to look into the responses of this is guilty of they're investigating him for it now.
Yeah.
And if the Vatican is saying that they're looking into it, the Vatican would never do that unless they know they're going to convict the guy.
Yeah, the Vatican will protect him somehow, or they're throwing him under the bus to protect someone else. It's everybody. It's everybody in this fucking church.
Yeah. This is you nailed it. I guarantee you, he found somebody that they particularly like in Buffalo, and he was going to be like, yeah, here's your problem. This guy is fucking stopping everything. This is the reason this is going to, yeah, no, you don't touch him. He's like, but he's the reason. Yeah, you're going down.
Yeah. No, it's just the way it is. It's like Americans shooting each other. We have to just eliminate them. We have to kick in the front doors of the Vatican and just fire them all. Just go, look, you're not in charge of anything anymore. Go away.
Now, top of this,
they're an autonomous state. I don't even care. Whatever. Finish, you're on top of this. I don't give a shit. Catholics fucking kids isn't news. We have to just bomb the fuck out of them.
I wholeheartedly accept that and agree with that. The Legion of Christ Religious Order, which I don't know if you remember these guys hitting the news, but they've already been fully discredited because of the founder is a found and guilty pedophile. And an openly admitted pedophile to Max. Like once he was like, "Yeah, fucking right, I fuck kids, fuck you. What are you gonna do about it?" But they announced a joint Vatican investigation Monday into a botched handling of a priest who sexually abused girls as young as 6 and suffered no punishment. So like literally the entire 3 bits of this news all hit together within 24 hours. 2 dealing with this Legion of Christ order, and 1 specifically that's directly now linked right to the Pope, who hired this guy. So yeah,
and idiots will protect them somehow.
Yeah. Somehow,
Just get rid of it. Just fly on a drone over them. Just put a big drone attack on the Vatican and get rid of it. Why do we need this?
That's right. Trump proved they got the accuracy.
And anyone defending this child molesters, just kill them. There's no defense for this anymore.
None at all.
And it's just, if it were a few priests who got weird because they're not married and they're in some godforsaken island in the middle of nowhere, it's still not justifiable, but it could almost make sense. But this is everyone, everywhere, all the time. It's like you're told to do it.
Yeah, it's like a rule.
And going to hell isn't bad enough for you people. So we got to figure something else out.
That's why I was South Park's thing on that one when the South Park, or no, was it South Park? Was it? Yeah, South Park. The priest on South Park went to the Vatican to try to stop all this pedophilia shit happening. And as soon as he gets there, and they're all talking, and they're all like, you know, this is terrible. All these cases against us and all this stuff. You know, this has got to stop. And the priest is like, good. They're all like, yes. How do we stop the children from talking? It's like, no. And he got ostracized for not being a diddler. And that's exactly my view of what the Vatican, what the entire Christian.
That's where they're at now.
That's where they're at.
I had this big argument with my mom about it. It's not all Christians. I don't care. It's not all. It's never all anything. It's not all Muslims either, right? Well, fuck it. At this point, just fuck it.
No.
Deal with the problem. Solve the problem. Stop lying.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stress this enough. There's no solution until we stop lying. And just, if we can bomb Iran, we can bomb the Vatican. They're their own state. They're not part of Italy. They're their own country.
That's right.
We can attack them. And if Trump if Trump wants to win some support from anybody, just bomb the Vatican. Fuck Iran. Iran's never done anything bad to us, really. Not Canada.
No. Well, except for the
Canada should start a war. Canada's never started a war. Let's do it. Start a war with the Vatican. Let's just start wiping out the Vatican. That's a good place for Canada to start, I think. Like, we're not going to win in Syria or something. Why?
No.
Like, start off with the Vatican. Work your way up. Just randomly. They got attacked by who? Can you imagine that meeting? Who attacked them? Fuck off.
Not the Canadians, really? Yeah, they didn't have drones, so they sent a kite. It was weird, but they got all the big guys. I don't know what happened.
They're pissed off about a giant loony going missing, and they went fucking ballistic. Someone stole their giant loony. I don't even know what that is, but they mean something to them.
Hey, let me ask you something, Eric. Were you ever a fan of the TV show Seinfeld?
I sort of afterwards.
Okay. Did you know that in Edmonton, a justice has allowed an Edmonton man's appeal based on an actual episode of Seinfeld?
That's stupid.
It was the episode where George Costanza had a physiotherapy appointment and he canceled within the 24 hours. Then he had to get charged the $75. When he shows up the second time, the receptionist says, "Oh, sorry that the person's not here. She had personal affairs she had to attend to." And he's like, "Well, you didn't give me 24 hours notice, so you owe me $75." And basically just said, "No, that's not how it works." Well, kind of basing it off of that, basically what happened was this guy had a $500 in tickets relation to a dog attack. He pleaded not guilty, went to go to court on January 31st. On that day, the court did not have time to hear his trial, so they rescheduled it for October 16th. From January 31st, he had to wait until October 16th at a different time. So when he showed up at court, he thought it was at the same time. He thought it was at 1:30 p.m., but turns out it was at 11 a.m. So they instantly basically pled him as guilty for a no-show. And he's used somehow he showed intent to go to trial because he did come. He just mixed up the time. But he said that the man would face a similar justice as Costanza if he was penalized and refused the court date. And the judge is like, "You know what? I will allow that." So they got him a new trial.
Wow.
That's in Edmonton.
That Edmonton, the Mississippi of Canada.
Right, there it is.
God.
I'm reading this and I'm still trying to figure out how do you work that in so they don't laugh at you in the trial. You know what I mean? But yeah, you did it.
I don't know. Maybe I need a break from this show. I don't want to live in a world where judges base their decisions on fucking television shows.
Well, when the president of a country is a fucking...
But that's their country. We're supposed to be better than that.
We have a drama teacher. We just got one that never made it to TV.
Yet.
Yeah.
He'll probably have a reality show when he's done. Oh my God. I don't even know what to say. I can't even come up with anything clever lately because these stories just piss me off. There's nothing clever to be said about, like, if a judge is basing his trial decisions on Seinfeld, that judge should be fired. Hey,
I just can't stop laughing at it
right
because
then and there, judge
it gives
should
me
be
hope that if
fired.
I ever get into trouble for something, I have a lot of TV extensive knowledge. If I can cite a Law and Order, I'm good to go. You know what I mean? Law and Order, case file 7843, Doctor 26 stated this. So you guys gotta let me off. Oh, yeah, no, he's right. That did happen. Season 4. He's
I
right.
just can't. I can't deal with a world that bases legal decisions on television shows. That's not how the world is. That's not a world I want to live in. It's funny, but it starts with Seinfeld, and then it degenerates into the next judge who's basing his on Ren and Stimpy. You can't do that. It doesn't. This is why you don't let Disney buy everything. This is why you don't let reality show hosts run countries. You can't do this to our world. I think Gordon and I are seriously going to cross paths in philosophy by the end of this season, and I'll just want to wipe out the world. Or 2/3 of it, or whatever. It's not funny.
And you think that I might just turn around because it's gotten so ridiculous? I'll be like, you know what? I'm kind of enjoying this now.
I get no enjoyment out of anything that's going on right now. This is so ridiculous. There's, God, I can't even construct it. Now every night, Gordon and I say goodnight. I gotta compose my thoughts and come back the next night and deliver them to you guys because I can't even talk properly by the end of the episodes. What did we?
Hey, do you know that I actually have a chart right now that shows what's going on with the weed sales in Canada in the sense of, because you know how there is a shortage?
Yeah, but before we pull
Go
off
ahead.
stats online. It's better. I would like to vet them a little more than just like Googling shit. And
It's off of it came up. It's off of BBC, the BBC.com.
yeah,
And what it is, it's part of this. The stat itself is from stats or from the Canadian government, is what it says, government of Canada. But what they're talking about, they're just talking about the supply and demand in kilograms. It's finished inventory. They have over 102,000 kilograms of finished inventory ready to go out. They've got 62,700 unfinished inventory, so plants in production ready to go, and 11,700 kilograms in sales.
I don't even know what that means. Those numbers mean I don't know.
They've done 11,000 kilograms in sales, 11,000, and they have over 180,000 kilograms sitting in stock, meaning they're selling virtually nothing considering what they have.
Well, they
went from having not enough to way too much. They can't get rid of it because they don't have any way of selling it.
I didn't ever once assume that it was going to sell well.
No, we called it from day. Well, you nailed it from day one. There's no getting around that.
It just makes sense. They're not going to do anything with it until they rewrite the legislation completely. They're going to sit on that forever. Yep. There's nothing they can do about it. No one's going to the 4 stores in BC to buy it. They're open in like Kamloops and the Shoe Swap, and like, why would you not open them in urban centers?
Yeah. Well, they have the one in North Van now.
It's just absolutely fucking ridiculous.
What's funny is the retail price of legal cannabis in Canada has gone up from $9.82 a gram to $10.65 a gram. Meanwhile, the illegal price has dropped from $6.50 to $5.93.
Yeah.
So, oh my God. I love the fact. I'm like, you can't sell it for more than street value. You cannot sell it for more than street value. Straight and simple. First thing I said when we talked about it. There they go. Double the price. Morons.
I don't understand. I don't understand how this hasn't popped up in all the. Well, I guess we've got the Iran thing to deal with, but in the meantime, someone needs to be looking at this file and doing something about it, because it's just going to keep hemorrhaging money until they need 110 departments to scramble and look at it, and it's going to cost a tremendous amount of money. The longer it takes to fix it, the more it's going to cost.
That's right, and the longer it takes to pay it off.
It's just absurd, and I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know how I can just keep going over the same subject and saying the same things over and over again until someone figures them out. I don't know what more I can say except go back and listen to past episodes, and we've got this nailed about 150 times.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know what more I can say about it. Someone has to call us. Someone in the government has to figure out, either call me or just scrap the legislation and redo it.
Call a drug dealer and ask him. Simple. You got him in jail. Just grab a couple of the bigger guys. Say, okay, look, how'd you guys do it?
They'd be happy to tell you.
Yeah.
But we're beyond that now. When you're sitting on 100,000 kilograms or whatever it is, that's not even that.
100,000 kilograms of weed.
That shouldn't be in Canada. That shouldn't be that hard to sell.
No.
So sell 1 kilogram to 100,000 people. That's not that difficult.
No, it really isn't. Do a flash sale. It's gone. There it is. Your product's gone. You've just made your money.
100,000 people. That's not even a tenth of the population. There's got to be 100,000 pot smokers in Canada easily. Give them a good deal on a kilogram.
Yeah.
And just like, I don't know how I can be the only one who thinks of this stuff. Put it on sale. Have a sale. Drive a van like the Oscar Mayer Wiener van across country and just sell the shit. Like a giant food truck, just coast to coast, the big Canadian weed sale. Have Justin show up every once in a while and throw out a couple fucking grams and smile and get the beard to do some autographs, and you'll sell it.
Come for the weed, stay for the photo op with the beard.
You got 420 in 3 fucking months. You can't figure out something to do for that? Joe Rogan's doing Rogers Arena on 420 in fucking Vancouver. Have a chat with him. He'll figure out how to get rid of 100,000 kilograms. It's not that fucking difficult. God damn it.
It's just funny.
100,000 kilograms. Fuck, Vancouver could go through that on 420. Just take it there.
Yeah, it would. I mean, really, it's not difficult. And again, the longer they have this stuff, the drier it gets, the less it's worth because you're just killing the product. So, God damn it, they're so stupid.
I don't care. They've regulated themselves out of competition, and they're basically no further ahead than they ever were.
No, not at all.
Except doing exactly what we said and making illegal weed cheaper. So good on you for that. Way to go. Maybe that was the plan all along.
Yeah, maybe.
How would we do? Let's come up with a secret conspiracy theory that really this was brought on by some board of shadowy figures who just wanted illegal weed to be cheaper by $1. And they succeeded. I want to be the next Q. I want to start putting cryptic messages out. Be the Canadian Q. Come up with conspiracy theories and just I'll put out the cryptic messages every week. Except I'll just admit it. And people are like, are you Q? I mean, fuck yeah, I'm Q. Well, I'm going to say goodnight. We're an hour and a half into a show that I hate. I hate all of you. Can we just... No. Stop shooting each other for a day. Stop. Catholics, stop fucking people. Or at least gun people, start shooting Catholics. Like, it's not that hard.
They should, instead of having open season on like bears and things, they should just have that on priests.
Stop shooting black kids. Start shooting Catholic priests. I would be in heaven. I would be irate. I'll get right behind your gun, your pro-gun. I'll endorse the NRA if for every gun sold, one Catholic priest dies. Or that's the rule. That's my new gun law. Within the first month of owning your new gun, you have to shoot a Catholic priest with it.
I'm good with that.
I'll go to Virginia and have a talk with them tomorrow. Well, I'm not going to go. I'll phone Virginia and be like, look, I got your back. What you got to do? You can have as many guns per month as you want, but each one has to kill a Catholic priest. But within a week of getting it, or we take it away again.
Yeah.
Police
or we take away 2. There it is. You really give them that incentive.
Police can stop you and take your guns away if they believe they haven't been used to kill a Catholic. You have to show proof. Everybody's got a cell phone. A quick little snap a picture while you're in church.
So good.
Simple. Solving problems. Solving 2 problems at once. Let's get gun owners killing Catholics. Then the anti-gun people will be like, okay, those guns are pretty good. They're killing pedophiles. And then there's 3 groups. Well, 1 is more dead and 2 are happier with each other. That's a good solution, in my opinion.
All sounds good to me.
2 out of 3 parties walk away happy, and 1 doesn't walk away. That's a productive day.
Progressive thinking, my friend. Very progressive thinking.
That's what we do here on Eric. Of course. What if we're right? What if we're right? It could make for a very happy world. I got a kid Virginia on the phone. Aren't they the ones who fucking are on meth?
Isn't that? Yes, I'm just gonna say yes.
Wasn't it Virginia that's on meth?
I believe it was. I think no. Was it Virginia?
I don't know.
No, I can't remember now. That was amazing, though. Meth, we're on it.
If it wasn't Virginia, then we got to get Virginia on meth. Because we got a lot of Catholic killing to do. Don't start at Gord's girlfriend's church. Maybe save that one for a while.
I appreciate that.
Oh, God. I gotta go and try not to kill myself tonight. I don't know what the hell we're gonna do. We have guests all week. I gotta cheer the fuck up.
We'll I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Well, this was thoroughly depressing. The last few episodes have just ended with me trying to figure out a way to shove my microphone through my eye. It's a good thing it's blunt.
and all the episodes ended up with me giggling. So there you go.
You hear the edited version of the episode, and it ends with this. He's trying to stab myself with the microphone.
It's just so great.
I'm actually in a better mood than when I started, so I guess we're on to something. So go shoot some Catholics, and I'll support your guns.
Catholic priests.
For every Catholic priest you kill, we'll send you 10 grams of weed.
And good Canadian bud, by the way. Some good BC bud. We'll get the good stuff.
That'd be awesome if someone just showed up with a giant fucking loony looking to buy a bunch of weed from the government. Hey, we got this big ass loony. Oh, $4 million loony. Give us our weed.
Give us our weed. We'll give you back the loony.
Oh my god.
So
I'm leaving. Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
It is late for Gord. It's actually late for me. I'm tired of shit. I don't know why. So I don't even know what to say. For the love of God, take care of each other.
Or don't. I don't care either way, personally. Just
Fair
listen to our show before you die. That's all I ask.
Yeah, please send us a review. You're going to die anyway. Give us a review.
For the love of anything, please.
Go to ericandgord.com. Or no, don't do that. That's not our website. Go to wearerightdealwithit.com. Leave us a review. Do whatever you want. I don't care. Well, I'll explain more tomorrow about what you can do. I hate you all. Stop lying. Good night.
All right. See you, everybody.
Every story starts the same way. I'll just do a little bit till